Good morning. I don't know if it's morning or not. But, sorry about that. I thought I was going to finish that video up about the secret killers, the last part. But they were targeting me so hard. And, you put me to sleep. And I'm just not waking up. I think it's been 6 hours. And what they'll do is, they will, every time I wake up, this energy weapon they use on me, they will keep putting me to sleep till I can't sleep anymore. Excuse me. You know, how you sleep, and then you can't sleep anymore. You be, wow. Even though I have a headache, I have a slight headache now from the equipment that they're using. Now, this is hard to believe, but people would not just take the time and go research. And that's what God wants us to do. Look, find these things out. Do the research. You'll see that all these weapons, all of this mind control has been in place since these some of these things were patented. Some of these inventions was patented since the 1950s. Excuse me, they working me still because they don't want me to make this video. And I told them, I say, well, all I know, I'm giving you all the chance in the world to stop me from telling it. So they are really trying to stop me from telling this story. But there's patents for this for these weapons. There's patents for these this technology. And in 1998, excuse me, when I was first introduced into this program by my husband, my target then, I told him, I say, they were trying to impress me about what they could do to me with this technology. And I told him then, I said, this must be alien technology. Because I don't think man could be this advanced since we have this technology to get in people's heads and to make them feel things they shouldn't, can torture them. Because if anybody made this technology, even if aliens gave it to you, they had to be up to no good. Because who will give a planet or a society a weapon that would hurt you, and instead of inventing something that would help mankind? Because with all the water we have on this planet, why did they not uh, give us a way to harness our oceans and our seas? Why did they not make us a vehicle that put out less emissions? Why did not give us fuels or other things that would help us, that would be less of a footprint on our planet? If they were uh, good aliens or whatever you got this technology from, why did they help humanity instead of giving you devices that would hurt us? I told this to my targeters in 1998. Oh, and he kept trying to brag. Oh, we got this and we in control. They were never in control. And I told them that then. I told them that um, any person that gives you anything that would harm more than help has a whole hidden agenda. So I told them then that you're not in control, that they're giving you this for their reasons, but as soon as they get a chance, you're going to be a victim too. Now, this was in 1998. I also told them excuse me, that we would have a black president one of these days. I didn't know it was going to be Obama. I am truly surprised, like I said, that I'm so disappointed in him. But I also knew that through reading different stuff and researching, and I really believe that some of the things that Nostradamus said um, would uh, be relevant and come true because I had seen some of his prophecies come true in the past, like he knew about the assassination of President Kennedy. So, uh, me trying to keep up on things that God has always put it in my spirit to uh, be curious. Sorry, they used me. To be curious. So, like I said, I just don't believe anything. I do a lot of research. I don't believe even if I read a book, I don't take it for granted that everything in that book is true. I have to cross check and recheck every fact through other resources and everything else to try to put the best picture forward so I'll be the closest to what the real facts are. Years ago, when I was about in my 20s, I wanted to go get my GED, and at Dawson College on 39th Street, they had a course that offered a GED class. So I went to take the test to see what level I was at, so they know what classes to give me. And I took the test, and then one of the instructors came and told me that I had had the highest score of anybody who had ever taken that test. I only missed one. I missed two questions. No, I only missed one. Uh, and that question was a science question. So I asked her to show me what that question was, and I told her then that the book had to be wrong, that I was correct. So she went and talked to some other instructor, and excuse me, she went and talked to some other instructor, and his answer was the same as mine. So they wind up, since they found out that the class books, the instruction books that they had, was giving the wrong information. So they told me that they was gonna scrap them school books, course books they had, and they were gonna order a whole new set of books because the school books that they were using for the students had the wrong information in it. But uh, at the end, they told me since I had scored higher than anyone who had taken those tests, that they were not going to enroll me in the school, that I was already prepared, and that all I needed to do was just go down and take the GED test because I already knew and was already prepared to take it. So they did not enroll me. But me not having the confidence, uh, not thinking I was smart enough, still did not go and down and take the GD test. But I went and took it years later at Daly College in Chicago. But that's what I'm saying. I question everything. Because if I had not questioned it, the course books that they had offered at Dawson, and told them that the answers in the books were wrong, uh, they would have still been teaching the students um, wrong information. And I don't know whether that was on purpose, but it might have been now looking back. Now they're going to make me choke. Now looking back, it might have been purposeful. Um, it might have been something that was planned. As I know now, how they've been miseducating us. But back to Lavera. Sorry, I hope you can hang with me while I go to this. Uh, uh, they can use these devices to put you to sleep, make me yarn, make you go in the bathroom, make you go to the bathroom. Um, so at certain times when they want to come in my house or want me out the way, they will use these devices to send me to the bathroom. Like it's just how it happened with Comcast. That the Comcast technician came in here and he said he couldn't see, he didn't say anything wrong, and that he was gone. And then all of a sudden I had to go to the bathroom. He left out the door. All of a sudden I go to the bathroom, and then I come out the bathroom, and he's in my living room. He didn't knock. They just sent me to the bathroom, and I don't know what he did while he was in the living room when I was in the bathroom. But I called Comcast then and asked them, how can two texts did this. How could y'all send these texts to my house? Who can come in my house while I'm preoccupied? Because the one time I was in the bathroom when they came in, and the other time I was in the backyard, and the other text came in my house. Now, they all had these rinky dink Mickey Mouse line. The first text that came, the one that when they sent me to the bathroom, came in my house. He did not show me any ID at all. He did not let me know who he is. And I've had that issue a couple of times, even with AT&T, where I would ask them for ID and they won't tell me who they are. Uh, and I called AT&T one time and I say, well, who was that technician that was just out here, since he would not identify himself? And they told me they can't give me that information. So I say, how is that possible? How you gonna send a person to my house who won't tell me who he is? And now you telling me you can't supply me with that information. You can't tell me who he was, who this person was, who I'm supposed to allow in my house. So, as I said, AT&T and Comcast are on the same page. But, but as I said, I was cooking before I went to sleep. I had them pots on the stove, and I got so sleepy that I just turned them off. Now it's 1 o'clock in the morning. The chicken is not spoiled because I'm gonna catch some chicken. It's probably warm enough now. Sometimes they help me. Maybe they're gonna put me to sleep. I might as well sleep until the chicken cool off. But it's probably warm enough now, cool enough now for me to handle and to can it. But uh, I think I left off at the part where my aunt Sue died mysteriously. My aunt Ruby died first from cancer. Uh, and my aunt Ruby was Rivera's grandma. My aunt Ruby married her Rivera's grandfather. Then Aunt Sue died mysteriously. She wasn't from cancer. It wasn't from a heart attack. We don't know what the cause of death was. Uh, then Rivera's uncle got sick. Then he died from cancer. And then his wife has cancer. And I think I left off at the part where July, where she was supposed to have done that backwards. Y'all saw that video. And she said she had to do it 4th of July because so I had to move my grill because there was supposed to be an inspection, and she had to get that porch painted. And today, that porch is still not painted. That porch is still unpainted as it was before the 4th of July. Oh, no. um, I really started suspecting Miss Rivera of doing things the 4th of July when As I told you, my aunt died February 2011, and we were supposed to buy the headstones. And Miss Vera still hadn't got in touch with the people by July 2016 to get those headstones put down. So with people coming in and out of here tearing my things up, and me trying to buy stuff for uh, emergencies for this LP guy cheap as he keeps telling me, I could use that almost $500. So when Lavera came in, I told her, I said, well, Lavera, since you haven't had the headstones put down, if they don't have a headstone by now, there's no purpose of getting one. So I want my money back. So she said, well, I don't feel, I'm tired. I don't feel like discussing it today. Give me tomorrow and I'll get back. She never got back. So I had to call her and I said, well, Lavera, what you gonna do about getting me my portion of that deposit on those headstones? She said she would go uh down there that next Tuesday. Next Tuesday came. I said, "Where you going?" She said, "Oh no, I got to work. I can't go and get the money. I got to work." So I decided to come and go look at for the receipts because I kept the receipts uh, of all Sue's paperwork from Burroughs. Now she had bought a plot in 1987 that she had paid for, and I had the paperwork to the plot. I also had the receipts of putting the money, deposit money down, and I also, but when I came in the room to look for the paperwork, my room had been ramshackled again. Now, just the other day, uh, while I was gone, I had noticed that somebody had been in here again, but I hadn't paid attention since they throw things around that they had ramshacked and went through my Aunt Sue's paperwork and taken the receipts. Now that made me very, very suspicious, because the bearer was the only one that I talked to about getting that money back from Brooks Cemetery. And I come here and all Aunt Sue's paperwork is thrown around and the receipts are missing. So I called her. I said, it was very the receipts to the funeral headstones is missing. Well, maybe you put them somewhere. Maybe you did this. Oh, excuse. So I still told her where she has to go and make the arrangements to get the money back. She kept dragging her feet, so she told me to call. Now, let me show you how good God is. God knew that Mrs. Vera was going to pull something shady. He knew that she was not going to try to get me my money. So, mysteriously, I didn't buy the receipt, but all of a sudden, I found the contract. The contract that was in my name for me paying installment payments on the headstones. So, since I had the contract, and I found the contract, and I was gonna make and I made the installment payments. The contract was in my name, not Mr. Vera's. So I called Burroughs and asked to speak to someone about Miss Alexander's uh, headstones, and after all these years of 2011, 2016, that since they weren't placed down, that I wanted my money back. And it just so happened that the guy told me that he had talked to Miss Rivera and she had already instructed him for them to go on and put the headstones down. I'm saying, I didn't tell her to put them headstones down. I told her I wanted my money. He said, well, Uh, everything is in Miss Nelson's name, so you can't uh make any decisions about getting the money back. You'll have to talk to Miss Nelson because she wants the headstones placed down. So I told him, I said, no, nothing's in Miss Nelson's name. I say, I'm looking at the contract in my hand where I made the payments and the contract is in my name. He told me, no, that's impossible. He said, well, let me look through my files. He was gone for a while. He come back and say, oh, no, I have no contract, no paperwork with anything in your name. Miss Severa holds the contract in her name. I said, no. I said, I got this paper in my hand. I'm looking at it. There's no way you're supposed to have any paper contract with Miss Nelson, Miss Davis at the time, when I got the contract and it's in my hand. And then he tell me, he said, oh, something must be going wrong here. Something must have happened because I don't know how we have a contract in just Miss Nelson's name and we don't have any paperwork with your name on it. He said, give me the contract number. I read off him the contract number. Oh, excuse me. I read off the contract number. Yeah, that's the contract number. I read off the date, the prices of the headstones. And he said, well, Miss Vera has the contract because she has put $200 down. I said, of course. I said, she only put a deposit down on it because at the time neither one of us had any money on us, and she put $200 down off of her credit card. But the contract was read up in my name. They could not find that contract. But I told him, I said, well, let me call Miss Nelson and see what she's doing. Why she went on and decided to put the headstones down when I asked for my money back. Hold on now, I got to turn these fans on. They make me hot sometimes. Oh, hold on. Uh, so, uh, after I got off the phone from him, I called Miss Nelson. And she did not answer the phone. But I called him back since I didn't get in touch with her. And I told him I was coming into the office at Burr Oaks, show him my copy of the paperwork, and that we're going to have to make arrangements to get my money back because Mrs. Vera controls nothing. Nothing is in her name. So shortly after, Mrs. Vera called me. She say, uh, uh, Pearl, because I had left a message asking her why did she give the guy at Burr Oaks permission to go on to put the headstones down when I told her I wanted my money. So she told me that she was planning on putting the headstones down and giving me my half. I told her fine. I said, you go and do that. But you could have told me that. You could have told me that you were going to put them down. It was just as simple as to call me and say, well, Pearl, I'm going to get the headstones put down. So I'm going to give you your half and I'm going to pay for it. Because she's got plenty of money. So uh, I said, well, you can go and do that. I said, well, go and put them down and just give him my half. Then she told me no. She told me now, as you know, since I've been going to this Target, I record all my conversations. I didn't record Mrs. Vera in the past, but once I found out that she was doing the shady deal with the guy, I started recording every conversation that I had with her. So, she told me that she didn't want to go on with the deal now. She didn't want to put the headstones down. Now, if you intend on putting the headstones down and giving me my portion of the money, when I asked you for the money, all of a sudden you don't want to put the headstones down. So I made arrangements with the guy to go get my portion of the money. And they played games too. They were trying not to uh, let me get to my appointment. And they've done that plenty of times, trying to keep me from getting places on time when I have appointments and stuff. And the guy wasn't going to show up. They thought I wasn't going to make it, but I made it. And then he pulled up later in his car because a lot of times when they do things, they don't think I'm going to make it, or they're going to try to send me in the wrong direction somewhere. But I try to do things in advance and check ahead of time, since I know how, if they get any slight chance, they would not show up or be at different appointments, like Pace Bus. If I call Pace Bus and tell them to pick me up at a certain time, uh, if they're not here at exactly that time, I have to call them and ask them, "Where's my bus?" I cannot wait 5, 10 minutes later and call them, because they'll say, "Well, the bus was here. You did not respond, so we left." So I have to call it at exactly the time that they're supposed to be here and go outside and look, because a lot of times when they come, they'll hide on the side of the house. And I had to walk around the corner and see if they sit there. And then I fussed at them. I said, "You know you're supposed to pick me up in the front of the house. Why are you hiding around on the side?" Because they will lie like they did one time and say to pick me up from a clinic, that they were there and that I wasn't there. And now I had been standing outside 20 minutes before the chance for the arrival, and they claimed that they were there, that the GPS showed that they were there, and they were lying. There's no way the GPS could have showed they were there, because I'm standing outside of the clinic and no bus came past there, period. But time after that, they were supposed to pick me up from Markham Courthouse, and I saw all the pace buses going past, back and forth. One pace bus, well, quite a few, going back and forth, and they weren't there on time. So, uh, in order for them not to say that they were there, because they were closed, but they weren't in front of my courthouse, they would say that we was in the area that the GPS showed we was here, and you weren't in front. So I had to stay on them at all times. I had to make sure they do their job. So that's the case that the judge keep dismissing, but I keep bringing it back and forth. Have you seen the video of me throwing up at the in Dunkin' Donuts about the two bad donuts that I ate? Just told that out without looking at the video and evidence of how sick I was. They just throw out the cases no matter what form of evidence I have. So the evidence is not really for these judges or this corrupted system. God has me collected it for someone else who can do something about it. But I digress. Uh, as I said, uh, Miss Lavera, I went to Burroughs, and Miss Lavera called in. He called Miss Nelson. He called her, and she answered, and we made arrangements for her to go on, put the headstones down, and give me my half of the money. Now, another issue I had with Burroughs, because you guys heard about the news about 4 years ago, there was a scandal at Burr Oaks where they were throwing people. They had dug up the bodies and they were reburying people on top of people, and they were digging up some of the graves and throwing the bones away. They were bones all over the cemetery, and they were getting rid of them. They were just throwing the bones to the side. They didn't even rebury them; just throw them to the side. Now, um, my aunts are there, and now my brothers is there. I have quite a few family members that broke, and they have never settled anything with my family about what went on with my family's plots or their graves, and they lied. And then the government took over after the scandal, and nobody know nothing. It was still really settled. So what happened was, as I told you, my aunt bought a plot in 1987, to be by her husband Percy, who was also buried there, my uncle. And with the burial scandal, when she died, they said they could not place her where her husband was, even though her plot was there because of the scandal and the graves being dug up. But in 2011, they said as soon as the investigation was over and they cleared that lot, that they were going to place her into her proper burial spot next to her husband. That was in 2011. Still in 2016, they haven't moved her back to a plot that she originally bought. So I was discussing with him why they hadn't moved my aunt back to her spot. And he told me that um, those because those plots were really a prime uh, spots. And he told me that with what was going on, what had happened. Oh, let me tell you what, from the jump, what he told me. When I first called him and told him I wanted my money back for the cemetery, for the headstones, because they hadn't been put down, uh, they told me I couldn't get the money back. That uh, uh, there was no way I can get the money back because the owners had changed hands. Now, I told her, I said, well, even though the owner had changed hands, I'm still getting paperwork every year that money is up in trust. Who has that money? I need to talk to the new owners then. So he called me and he said, well, Miss Jones, you can't get that money because when new owners uh, uh, left, they filed bankruptcy, and that they didn't tell us. We did. Now I do know a little about business and law, and I know that when you buy property or buy business, you assume all their liabilities, because if you go through the their balance sheets and their assets and everything else, you do not. You're supposed to have your lawyers investigate everything. It's just like buying a house. You're supposed to make sure everything is free and clear. There's no nothing wrong with the plumbing, because if you purchase it afterwards, it's what they say: buyers beware. You're as out of luck. So I know that it's with business too. That when he bought, when they took over Burroughs, he assumed all the responsibilities and liabilities. And since the money was still in trust, somebody had to be holding that trust. So then when I told him that, he said, well, no, the company that we bought the business from filed bankruptcy. And then I had to tell him, I'm not stupid. Bankruptcy does not cover you. Bankruptcy only covers the people who file. So if they file bankruptcy, they're not under obligation. That's if you bought the business and the trust is still there. The bankruptcy does not cover you. So he had to admit that he had to give me the money. But I asked him about my aunt's plot, or why hadn't they moved her back, and he said, came up with all kind of rigmarole. But he said he got her in a place that's more expensive than what she was placed there, what her plot was. He's lying. He's lying. Because him and Lavera got together. And this is why this network is so evil. This is why this thing is so messed up. That I cannot believe that this has gone this far, and all these systems have been infiltrated, where nobody, no matter what company, business you deal with, is not involved in this conspiracy. So, as I said, Miss Rivera was talking on the phone while I was there. She was on a conference call, and she agreed. She told him she'd give me my share of the money, and she wanted the plots put down, the headstones put down. Now, she said she wanted me to pick out what to go on the headstone, and we agreed about that. But when it came down to finding out where the headstones is down, she wanted them to contact her. And that's another thing I got to check again. I got to check to make sure they actually put headstones down. But he never did say that they was going to compensate me for my aunt not being placed back to the plot that she originally bought to be next to her husband. He said they can't do that, but that's not my fault that they bought a property with all these liabilities. But Mr. Veer's not pressing the issue about that either. So I think there's something going on with that. I don't know yet, but God always reveals all of this stuff will come to the forefront. What they say, if it don't come out in the wash, it'll definitely come out in the rinse. So, now, when my aunt died, she left me. Now, I'm going to have to jump back and forth to let you know what's going on. I had 2 days before I went to the cemetery to collect my share of the money. I had called the Vera because when my aunt died, she left me a lot of old coins, some silver certificates, $2, and some other silver certificates, some silver spoons, some old antique stuff, an antique creamer that she had when she was working as a young woman at Comrade Hilton. She had some old creamers, a little small little creamer that they used in the hotel back then. It looked so cute. But and some lead crystal glassware, some other few things. Now at the time I was in that house for the women with drug and alcohol problems. Now I wasn't an alcoholic or anything, but I needed a place to stay, and my aunt Ruby asked Miss Daniels, who was running the place, could she give me a room until I can get a place to stay. So I was staying there, and since I didn't have anywhere to keep these items, I told Mr. Vera to hold these items until I get me an apartment. Now, that was in 2011. I was still letting her hold them. I wasn't worried about these items because she's my sister. So when I found that she was playing games about the cemetery deals, I asked her for these items back. So, in the day that I went and picked up the money from Burr Oak Cemetery, I called her and told her that I was, because she lived in that area. I told her that I was closed and that I'd come back. When could I pick the things up? And she drug her feet for a while. Number one, when I first asked her about the old coins and stuff like that, she told me that I had no coins, that there was no items. Then I told her, I said, Vera, don't. I text her, I say, you must think I'm a fool. I said, oh, because we had went to a place. Now, this is another suspicious circumstance too that I'm gonna have to check into. Well, this guy met us at a bank, and he bought the old coins. Now, me knowing nothing about coins, the price that he gave me, the price that he gave us, I just could afford it. But I just saw his card not too long ago when she returned some of the merchandise. I saw his card, and I went to his website, and it looks like it's a shaky dealing. Because if you're a coin collector and you've been doing this for years, you should have a brick and mortar place where somebody can come and purchase or sell you coins, and he does not. So I think the very pulled another shady deal on me. But that'll also come to light later on too, because there were a lot of coins and there were a lot of old coins, and I didn't get very much from them. But the coins that he did not take, those are the ones I told the bear to keep. And when I asked her for these items, she told me there was nothing. And then she say, "Okay, I found them. Uh, uh, you can come pick them up." So I left Burr Oaks and I went straight to her house. And she had a little bag on the table. She told me to come in. We're gonna take inventory. She asked me for, could she have two of the silver spoons and an old antique can opener, and I told her no, because I'm mad at her. Because number one, I found that she'd been lying to me all this time about what was going on with my Aunt Ruby and my Aunt Sue, and you tried to beat me by telling me number one I didn't have these items. So she counted out some quarters, $50, uh, two silver certificates, 7 silver spoons, uh, that stuff. And I counted and I wrote down on a piece of paper. She said, write down every item that I gave you. I wrote down on a piece of paper what these items were. Now, at the time, I did not think about everything. I did not think about the dead crystal or the old creamers or the other antique stuff or the silver. But she gave me two $1 silver certificates. But the other silver certificates, I didn't think about them at the time. But when I walked out her door, I said, Miss Slicky. Now, she asking me for two silver spoons and the can opener. But she did not even give me all the other antique stuff. The glassware, the creamers, all the other stuff, all the other certificates. I said, I'm not going to even argue about it. This is what I'm telling myself. I said, I'm not going to even argue about it. I'm not going to even go in there and ask and tell her that I want this stuff. Because the stuff is SHIT situation, them certificates, those creamers, the lead glassware are not going to do me any good anywhere. All I wanted was the silver and the coins because of the metal value in them. So I decided to let her keep that other stuff. So I get home to catalog and take a picture of these items that I have, because I tell you they keep coming in here. So I want to have an inventory of what I have in case somebody comes in and take it. These are valuable items. I can report it, even though I thought they were going to do nothing. But since the value is higher than the items that they've been destroying, I figured I'd have to force the case open, since these are uh, pricey items. So I go to take inventory, and I look at the coins, and I could not believe my eyes. Coins are dated 2006, 2007. There's no way that my aunt would save coins that new. Now, my aunt was 83 years old. She was sick at the time that right before she died that year, she was going through changes. So she 83 years old and she's saving old coins. So in 2010, she would not be saving 2007 coins. She's smart enough to know better than that. So Miss Libera had switched the coins on me. She had given me new coins for all the old. So I called her and I say, well, Miss Libera, let me see how long this is. I'm going to make this 1 hour. I'm going to cut it short because I don't want to hold you guys that long. And then I'll make a part 4. But Miss Libera had switched coins, had taken the coins and gave me new coins. So I text her. I said, Miss Slicky, I said, it was real slick. Where are the old coins? Ruby, Aunt Sue would not be saving 2006, 2007 coins. And then she texted me back, I don't know what you're talking about. You watched everything I did. I had no chance to to take these coins because you saw me put them in the bag and you took them out. Now, that was stupid to send me that text because number one, you said at first I didn't have no coins. Now you saying you couldn't switch them and you've been had them since 2011. You didn't have plenty of time to switch them coins. So I told her then, I said, well, since you switched the coins, I said, give me the rest of the stuff. I said, give me the glassware, the creamer, and the other silver certificates and other stuff. She texts me again and say, there's nothing. There is no other stuff. I gave you all there was. But that's what she had told me that about the coins. There was no coins. I'm going to end this here, you guys. I'll get back to where I said it was no coins. But this is part 3. And part 4 will be coming up shortly. Love you. Bye-bye.